Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Let's talk about The Hate U Give. So The Hate U Give is based off a book of the same name. It follows a young lady named Starr. She grows up in a predominantly black neighborhood filled with crime, drugs. However, she does live an alternate life at a prep school that her parents put her in to try and break the cycle of what society thinks would happen to a young woman growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood filled with crime and drugs. On one particular day, however, when she is given a ride from her lifelong friend Khalil, they are pulled over by the cops, and after one misunderstanding after another, Khalil ends up shot and dead. It is from here where Starr faces her biggest challenge to either step up or stay quiet and continue her life. And that's all pretty much said without giving any spoilers to you guys. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm just gonna tell you what I liked about the film, what I didn't like, hit you with a rating system just like this one, breaking down the elements of the film and giving you a final ranking. The trailer, of course, set up a pretty interesting premise, and you could tell that it was going to be a powerful film and send a good message. Then, throughout the marketing and going through my local bookstore, you see that it is based off a book, and the section where you can find it is in the same vein of a Hunger Games or a Maze Runner, Twilight. Not that it's fictional, but it's a young adult novel. So with that aspect, and just from the looks of the trailer, I thought it was going to be a movie with a powerful message, but just executed poorly, because in my mind it was most likely going to be censored to accommodate a younger audience going out to see it. And man, was I so wrong, and I love this movie. I can't believe I had that prejudgment of this film, and that's why I'm so happy every time I go to watch a movie. I clear all judgments and I take in what it gives me, and this movie does not hold back. I thought it was going to censor some of the heavier topics. I thought that it was going to try to reach out to that young adult audience, and while it does not hold back with the powerful message and really a reflection of what's going on in our society. Now, I don't want to get political in this review, so I'm going to try to keep that very low. Now, starting off with the positives, for one, you do have a really great cast here. You have Common, you have Mackie, Regina, and so many others that do a good job in this movie and present the story well. But the most surprising one to me was the actual leading role of Stenberg. I hope I pronounced that right. She surprised the hell out of me in the performance she gave. She was given such a tough duty in the things she was put through in this movie, and she executed it perfectly. You could see the pain in her face when she's not talking. You can see the tiredness, the frustration, everything that this character deals with. She is able to portray that without saying a word. And even when she does say a word, it comes off so well, so natural. The dialogue in this film, really nicely done. I don't know if it's taken directly off the pages of the book, or this is the screenwriter adding some flavor to the movie, but the dialogue in this film just feels very natural, like you really are peeking into a conversation. They're able to sprinkle humorous moments and some of the deep, dark things that happen in this movie, and that's another positive to this film. It's able to mix in all these elements. It's mostly a serious drama, but it is able to sprinkle in those humorous moments. It scares you at times, and it definitely makes you emotional. I dare you to watch this movie and not feel angry. I dare you to watch this and not get choked up at the actions happening on screen and how you wish this was just a movie and it's made up fiction and we're just watching it to enjoy. Sometimes art really does reflect life. On the touchy subject, you see it from the trailers. It's mainly about a guy who gets murdered. It's wrongfully done by a cop. You think it's going to be about a trial, but it's really about Starr and her struggle and how every aspect of her life changes when she's trying to speak out. I mean, it's very reminiscent to those Nike ads that got a lot of people angry, and funny because Nike definitely sponsored this movie, because you do see a lot of Nike products in the background and on this character. I really don't have any negatives to say about this film because I was completely happy and utterly surprised with it. You will get emotional, you will feel hatred, and I know that's weird coming from a pasty white guy who has a little movie channel, but this is the kind of movie I show around to prove why I love movies so much. Sure, we get the occasional awesome action movie, an Avengers movie that can still make you feel emotional, but with a movie like this, it reminds you why you love being a film fan and why something like this is something you'd pass down to a friend, to a child. When I was walking out of this movie, there were two mothers in front of me walking saying, I'm bringing back and I'm taking my daughter because she needs to learn that these things exist, and this movie does a good job of that. I might be crazy by calling it an Oscar contender because I was definitely not expecting that walking into the movie, but without me really having much negatives to say and such powerful message and the execution done so perfectly, I'd be crazy not to think it's gonna get some sort of Oscar recognition. Alright, so for The Hate U Give, I'm gonna give action 2 stars, and that's mainly because of the riots, the fist fights. There are a few scenes of that in this film to warrant enough action. Comedy in the film, I'm gonna give 2.5 stars because it does a great job of sprinkling in those humorous moments to some of the darker tones in this movie. Drama in the film, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. The story was phenomenal. It handled it in such a great, elegant way. Horror in the film, I'm gonna give a star to because it is horrifying what does happen in this movie, and it's horrifying the things that go on that reflect life. Whatever side of the coin you fall on, you can't deny this does happen. And suspense in the film, I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars because it does do a good job of building up suspense. There's just not a lot of it in the movie, just that one particular scene that you get in the trailers. Casual fans, I'm gonna give it an A+. Cinephiles, I'm gonna give it an A-. And critically, I'm going to give it an A-. The Hate U Give deserves a 3C guarantee. But that's just my opinion on the film, guys. Let me know what you thought about The Hate U Give if you've got around to seeing it. Let me know if you've read the book. Is the movie very faithful to that? Do you think there's Oscar potential here? Are there any questions you have about the movie? I'd happy to answer that down below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, guys, at 3C Film Review. Be sure to like and subscribe this video. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.